Hello and welcome everybody to another Inside Star Citizen Live. I'm here with my family. It looks like a black screen, but they're here. Hashtag monk mode, Damon in respect. Jesus, says DY. When I fart, I think it smells like unicorn, says Gamers. Hi, Mom, look at me. I'm on YouTube, says Banner. What? Says Joe. Family in the house today. You guys joined us on a very special occasion. My God, my Discord's been trying to give me little spoilers all day, and I said, nope, I need true reactions. I need true reactions for Inside Star Citizen review. So I started the show up because I wanted you guys to be able to hang with others that have, you know, like-minded feelings towards this game. Hello, welcome to the fam. Hey, welcome. And I wanted you guys to know that you didn't have to watch it alone anymore, that you could be with others with different opinions, all respect. You could be like, I'm not quite sure. You could be like, whoa, I love this shit. You could be like, I'm just trying to figure this out. What did I land myself into? You could be like somebody that just found out about Star Citizen today. But we're going to love you here. We're not going to hate on you. We accept it all. And we understand there is a flow to the Inside Star Citizen review stream. We understand it together. I haven't had a problem yet with anybody. I really haven't. I'm not the type of person to have problems. No, I like to talk. I do, believe it or not. And I think it is time now that we watch what? Porn? Oh, Kelly. Well, I think Kelly's got it right. Hey, Kelly, welcome to the stream. Okay, enough of this Star Citizen. Let's just watch some porn, everybody. No, just teasing. We're going to be watching about caves, though, which is somewhat similar. And let's watch and get ready. That was terrible. I'm sorry. Starting the show.
The Star Citizen universe is one whose destiny is to expand throughout the cosmos, beyond its planets and moons, through nebula and jump points into the star systems that fill our galaxy. But with the upcoming Alpha 3.7, we're taking a look within, going deep below the surface to explore the cavernous depths of Stanton's planets and moons. From top to bottom, this week we're exploring the work bringing...
Oh shit, from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Jared's covering it all.
...these new cave systems online, from the procedural tech that makes it possible.
Oh my God, wait a second.
On SCS.
We got a 15-minute show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If a 15-minute Inside Star Citizen show, 15 minutes is the magic number. I tell you guys every time since I started the show, 15 minutes is the magic number for a good show. They're listening. Jared, good on you.
Earlier this year, to the way designers use those tools for making traversable layouts suitable to a variety of gameplay needs, then finally how lighting and audio designers set the mood and create an atmosphere that brings the whole thing to life.
Sei mal fröhlicher, Mann. Du bist voll unhappy.
Ja, das ist mein Standard-Behavior.
Almost there.
Ja. Okay, ich muss
English, do you speak it?
Das ist kein Problem. On the last Inside Star Citizen, we were showing...
I was just going to say, could you imagine a show completely in a foreign language just for a troll? I think they really need to do that. Please, please. Just troll everybody and do a show in a completely different language. I would love it.
The entire R&D phase that we have done. So since then, we have actually finished up all of our assets.
Yeah, we've also involved all the other departments a bit more.
Okay, I'm really excited about caves, by the way.
All the building blocks are now in. We are now able to generate a full cave. We had our caves being procedurally generated by the layout tool, which is also used by the truck stops. And those truck stops, they float in space.
They don't have the planet and the terrain as a context to them. So that's why it was tricky for us to embed these entrances as caves nicely on the terrain and have them generated so they don't, you know, dip under the planet.
Professional hand movements. Damon, notice the professional hand movements we're using here. Very Chris Robert-esque.
Surface and then dip out again. That would be quite problematic. So.
Yes. The content that gets created by the layout tool needed more information in order to work with those caves. And since the caves have to be put on planets, we used the placement tool that has been used for the outpost.
Procedural generation for caves, very cool. Welcome to the family. Original Gamer. It's about goddamn time you joined us. Welcome to the stream, bro. I like the procedural generation that they're doing here for the rest stops and the caves. I'm kind of wondering why the insides of the rest stops do not match the exteriors of the procedural generation. There's something weird there that I want to investigate. Why the interiors of rest stops do not match the exteriors of rest stops. I've been stuck on this mode forever, but I'm not going to because we're talking about caves.
Before we actually managed to make it work, and
caves are
now
sexy.
we are able to use the procedural layout tool together with the procedural placement tool on planets, which is a quite nice heads-up thing for the future.
I know, Jiro,
whenever
I know.
we want to create more content.
The harvestables and minables are scattered on tag points that are also procedurally scattered out in the caves. So yeah, actually it's not just going to be empty caves that you walk in and out, but there's actually things to find, stuff to do, right?
Good.
Resources to gather.
We want new mechanics. We've been waiting for it. 3.7 kind of like it was like a weird roller coaster of a ride about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to get into it. You can watch it on the channel. I'm going to watch it.
They're using our new organic shader, which allows us to go for a much higher fidelity, you know, a much better definition in terms of shape. So it should be quite a level up.
That's cool, but I also want to do a video about ray tracing and lighting. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started.
Quality for our geological assets.
We planned to add a little bit more breakup to our rocky archetype of caves. That means we have plant root-based elements that we overlay to break up the cold and harsh rocky angular surface.
So even though it's all procedural, we have a decent amount of control, which means that we can determine a cavern to be, you know, completely covered in roots, or have these glowworms sitting at the roof, and also the man-made.
Oh, thank you for that donation. Thank you for the biddies, original. Thank you for those biddies, bro. Did he say glowworms in caves? It's getting a little bit hot up in here.
Camps that other NPCs left, and you are now able to discover that kind of stuff. So sometimes you might even find some dead NPCs in there, like people who tried to explore it but didn't survive.
Procedural dead people.
Oh yeah.
Procedural dead people.
In the very first couple playtests, we realized that it is really difficult to tell where one should go, where you could climb onto and stuff like that. So we had to find a solution visually. And the solution for that actually was for us to add another element, which was like a little lichen layer on top of our rocks. And wherever that lichen is, we kind of try to navigate the player and lead the player towards
right now.
The actual navigatable path.
We spent a lot of time walking through our own caves, and I've got lost myself as well, many times.
So maybe it will help with the orientation.
Navigational systems.
You get in and you.
Okay, we're going to talk about caves. We're going to obviously talk about clipping. We're talking about the state of the game that it is now. We know it's going to be a little rough. We know there's going to be some things, but we got to think a little bit forward here. This is fucking cool. Okay, now, one of the things that I think there should be some types of items geared for caves that help you around. Some type of navigational systems that can actually help you around or map these caves is really going to be very, 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 very important. Items that you can use in the caves. Glow sticks of some sorts, glow spikes of some sorts, ropes, some types of things you can dig with. These things where you're going to be able to mine in caves. This is going to be really, really very cool. They haven't done anything yet about certain types of physics. I understand that. I'm very pissed off about that. But at the same time, looking forward, seeing that 3.7 is right around the corner, I'm very interested in seeing how they're going to introduce these new mechanics like the FPS mining. Those, I mean, like there's a whole bunch of things right around the corner that I'm very, very excited about.
You don't get lost, and maybe you can find yourself.
Exactly. Sonar, motion scanners. Absolutely, Jiro.
Have the players test what we have right now.
It's very cool.
The very first version of the caves that, you know, has the most necessary elements in it to make up such cave. But for the future, it means that we have this very big, nice to have list of ideas and elements. Definitely want to tackle them in the future for sure, because it's way too exciting stuff.
With the tech developed by Patrick and Florian and others on the Planetary Content team, the process of implementing caves then moves on to designers to create and ensure properly traversable layouts that can be used for interesting combat, future missions, and the upcoming FPS mining gameplay feature.
Original Gamer says, I'd like some sort of scanner on land vehicles so I can go from outpost to outpost. Absolutely agree. I think that should be in there. Definitely OG. Damon says, I wonder how persistent these caves will be. If you can stash shit in one and come back to another. I hope that they are. I hope that there is a seriously like never ending persistence when it comes to actually stashing shit in caves. If it doesn't, that to me is going to be a little bit of a drawback. Absolutely, Damon. I see where you're going with that. I'll tell you what. I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
For initial release, we are aiming for on-foot entrances. So we have uncharted and charted caves. There's also another secret variant that I won't mention. So the mood we were looking for in a cave is very close, very tight, very scary and dark, and very labyrinthine. For creating
Dude, that gives me all types of vibes.
Creating rest stops. So what that is we create a rule set of rooms. So be that a connecting room that has 2 to 3 connectors on which we can connect corridors.
Diva saying Cyclone right now has got it. Interesting. Very cool. Did not know that, Diva. Good information, bro. Diva has a great racing club. I love it. Shout out to Diva and his racing club group. Prometheus vibes completely RSW. Bucha says, imagine having to save and re-render all caves on a planet and having to send that info to each player on the planet. Holy shit, you are absolutely right, Bucha. When we talk about the actual details, you know, like when we talk about what is needed to make that happen, Bucha, you're absolutely right. It has a lot to do with SSOCS. I watched the Star Citizen live on Friday. I was both pleased and unpleased. I think I'm going to do a video about it. There's a couple things that made me happy. There's a couple things that made me upset. But I'm telling you, Bucha's got a really good point right there. Let's see. So Diva saying right now is in Recon, the Cyclone has it. Very cool. OG says, I'm predicting they sneak the RC bikes in this patch. That's the wheels have been bugged. I'm just speculating, he says. Well, I'll tell you, I've done a little bit of speculating myself. So don't worry about it, OG.
And then the technology randomly generates whether that has a connecting corridor on it or just a cat.
The caves are like, just the looks of it though, I'm telling you, it just kind of gives me a little, some tingles.
We can create graphs within graphs within graphs, and it can just explode into big, beautiful interior spaces. So the things we have to consider for traversal is making sure there's a good sprinkling of gameplay elements, small spaces, large spaces, really tight little places you have to squeeze around. So you would be crawling under things, crawling under things, mantling up over stuff. So there's a really sense of a different height. So we really have to generate the graph and very carefully curate the order of the space and jump into game mode after we've generated it to make sure it feels right, really feels like you're splunking through a cave.
This guy's just as excited as I am explaining this. I like that. I like seeing that from the devs. When the devs are actually excited about the tech that they're creating, I like that. When the devs are actually getting kind of excited and pumped up, like they got good energy, man. Like this episode has good energy. Good for you guys.
So that would be making sure there's large open spaces that can hold more people, of course, because if you're fighting, there's more than one person. And then when it comes to FPS mining, we also have to think about where we want to spread the resources throughout the cave so that you have richer, potentially denser veins.
Get out of my face, that's sexy.
So you're rewarded for traversing through it.
What?
But for future releases, we'll be looking for massive sinkholes that you can land your ships in, and also huge cave entrances that you can drive your ground vehicles into. The players will notice there's areas in the caves that look lived in, and we
this is exactly what they needed to do.
We use those in missions and for other such exciting adventures. We're really hoping people enjoy the caves because they bring a big opportunity for nice, small, tight spaces that we don't usually explore in Star Citizen.
Damon, that's great.
Once Gareth has validated a layout that works for all gameplay needs, it falls to our lighting artists to create an atmosphere that can both showcase the mysterious and unknown depths of any planet or moon, and present this new endeavor in an effective manner that allows you to see where you're going without breaking the mood.
Okay, so what I'm seeing right here, what I'm thinking, what my mind is racing in is like wars over stashing different types of loot. You got areas where you're having fights over different types of caves. You just went like interior, exterior. You are everything that's saying right now. It is literally blowing my mind right now because I'm thinking about all the fun that we can have.
Okay.
So just a clap.
Before we start with anything, with the lighting, we always to figure out what is the part that we need to focus on most. So for caves, the corners and the big rooms are the parts that we need to focus on.
Better be echoes.
It's very important to tell the player where you're at. We always give them a little bit of hint from the lighting. Like if there's a corner to the left, then we just put the lights to the left of the corner, so you can see, oh, there's a light coming through the left side. So it gives you a hint that, okay, maybe I can go that way, maybe I can just turn left to figure out where to go next. And also,
man.
It's pretty dark, so it's very tricky to balance because you want it to be very realistic, you want it to be dark, but you also need to help the player not to get
man,
lost.
this is just like
So
hitting home right now with this.
The atmosphere a little bit specular, especially on the cave rocks. There's some kind of parameters that...
You know, I don't have to bitch about Minecraft being for kids anymore because I liked Minecraft a little bit, right? But then it was like too blocky for me. I was like, this game's for kids. I built and crafted and had a good time in Minecraft. But overall, I wasn't visually stunned. Do you know what I'm saying? Now with this is kind of what I wanted Minecraft to be. We craft? Nope. Let's add a little bit of crafting mechanics in the game, please. Please. Thank you.
Which gives me a lot of control. Like, for example, when the player gets closer to the field light, the field light will disappear, and surrounding
That's a good point, Bucha.
Pretty dark, but the other...
You know, Bucha brings up another good point. If there's deliberate lighting placement for every cave, are they really procedural? You know, I really want to get into a topic, and it's going to take me a while to research this. I might not. But I want to get into ray tracing. I don't know how many people are familiar with that. If you are, let me know. If you aren't, maybe we'll discuss it. I'm not quite sure if we get into a discussion about ray tracing, but it's very interesting, and I hope that down the road they're going to start talking about it. Jiro is working for Microsoft, and he says he does ray tracing. Oh, God. Maybe we should do a talk, Jiro. Maybe you and I should get together and do a video together sometime this month, dude. I think it would be very, very good talk. I do. There's a lot of things I want to talk to you about because I also want to get the perspective of making a game from a dev's point of view. And Jiro, while he's not involved with Star Citizen, is definitely a developer with Microsoft, and it would be nice to get that kind of mindset out there so people understand the other side, you know, of the coin.
Field lights are still on, so we use that kind of technology, like little tricks to keep you dark surrounding you, give you like this tiny and scary kind of feeling. Glowing worms are nice, they're beautiful, they're like mystic. We work with the VFX team. They
exactly, OG. Exactly, dude.
On the rocks. When they finish their job, I just added those field lights to support this VFX. So yeah, when you go deeper down into the cave, maybe you encounter this kind of area with glowing worms all over the ceiling above you.
That shit looked like dark crystal right there.
Nice effect and a very special experiment for the players. The flashlight is pretty tricky because it's so strong at the moment, so it's kind of like flattening everything, so all the work from the environment might be washed away because of that strong light. So the lighting team is working very closely with the engineering team as well to improve the torchlight, make it more subtle, and even when you have the torch on, you are able to see what's the...
Here's a dev you see complaining about how the torchlight's too strong and starts to flatten out textures, which brings about the discussion of ray tracing. It's interesting because I saw an interview done with Brian Chambers, and this was in Germany. And basically they were asking Brian Chambers about ray tracing, and Brian Chambers said, well, if we see the need to bring ray tracing in, maybe it's something we would consider. So that was interesting. That was really interesting to hear. I know a lot of us flying around right now on our screens. When you're in quantum, you see the sun hitting down, the screens start to glitch out, shit like that. That would not happen with ray tracing. You wouldn't have that happening. It's a more natural effect where light from its source pounds down on different types of areas, giving it the most true effect that you can when it comes to like a source of light. So it's interesting to me to see that if they will kind of slide forward into ray tracing with new NVIDIA cards supporting ray tracing. I can't remember who said it up here. I think it was Original Gamer said that he had a 1080 Ti and moved to the 2080 series. And he said that the lighting was better than the 10 series. Can you imagine that more people switching over? I mean, like time continues to move forward and we're going to see more and more ray tracing.
The cave looks like and still
in other games.
That kind of cinematic and moody cave. So yeah, that's what we are trying to fix.
But Arthur's lighting only gets us halfway to where we're going, as creating the proper soundscape is equally as important in adding character and flavor
that audio.
to subterranean environments. That's where James from the audio team comes in, as he takes the reins and brings the audible universe
I agree, Dark.
to the cavernous reaches.
It'll be down the road for sure. But it was interesting to hear Brian Chambers.
The caves was to create a more eerie mood. So by doing this, I designed a bunch of drone sounds and then a bunch of like one-shots and things like that.
Ooh.
And they trigger randomly throughout the caves.
Oh yeah. Hold on. This is great.
The deeper into the cave you go,
Kelly was talking about porn. This is like audio porn right now. Hold on a second.
Sound, just to give it a more eerie, kind of creepy vibe.
Oh yeah.
So I've made
right
the
there.
actual ATS is visible here, so you can see how the sound has been placed
right there
around the map.
That's for sure, Bucha. That needs more work. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, dude.
Other locations, so we could
KVSMR.
Like, to mark it up. So these have got quite tight.
Do you hear the caves? Let me scratch on the mic. KVSMR. Oh, do you hear? Oh yeah. KVSMR.
So the sounds don't bleed out throughout the map.
Kelly doesn't want to be.
So
Kelly, we need to get you on the mic.
Like this is to have a lot of drones placed around the area.
Oh yeah.
And also fill the space out with one
KVSMR. Scritchity scratchity. That's so gross when they do that shit sometimes. We need ASMR, Kelly. We need good ASMR.
So to bring
not my
ASMR.
ASMR.
I've added some one-shots, so like rocks falling and things like that, and water drips in the distance. And it just helps to make the space
we can't, Damon. We can't, dude.
And add a bit of life to the area, while still sounding a little bit creepy.
Like my ASMR.
So this is what the caves look like from the outside. As you can see, they don't look like very much, but when we put these lights on, you can see that this is the basic room layout. So the floor actually gets like stuck on the bottom part here.
Definitely better, Kelly.
And then I mark all the audio up in here. So you can see I've placed these speakers around the area, and these play like one-shots, debris falling, water drips, and drone sounds as well. So the idea is when you move around the room, the sound changes because you get closer to these speakers here. So as I go over here, you get less of these ones over here, which would be one-shots and drones. So it just gives the area a bit of movement to it. So although the room system looked a little bit confusing, once we're actually in the caves themselves, when they're all procedurally generated, it does make sense. What I would normally do is I'd walk through these caves and listen to the transition between the rooms, and then decide if I need to go back to the other room system and make any changes to it. One of the considerations for the caves was the actual reverb. So as you can see here, I've actually designed my own reverb sample for this. This is based on the room system, which
that was pretty good.
Cave itself. Further down the line, I'd like to break this up into more granular pieces so we can set up reverb on small corridors and small parts of the cave, just so there's a bit of variety to it. I hope this gives you a good idea of how the sound design in the caves is done. When we add the mission givers and NPCs to the caves, it's going to create new challenges. Things like how the voices are going to work in the caves with the new reverb system, and other things that go along with that, like what props are going to be there. This is going to present new challenges for the sound design team that I look forward to sharing with you.
So what did we learn this week? If anything, I hope we learned that creating these new cave systems is a collaborative endeavor involving even more than the 4 teams.
It really gets me when he says, what did we learn this week? Like, we need a new catchphrase at the end, Jared. I'm just saying, dude. Like, when he says, what did we learn this week? It starts to grate. It just starts to grate on me. Oh, man. I'm very excited about caves, everybody. This was a very, very fun. Thanks for joining us. Lots of different opinions here. I'd like you guys to chime down below in the comments when you see the vid hit on YouTube. I'll probably be putting this out tomorrow morning. And thank you, everybody.
Our thanks for making each and every
I want to tell you guys thank you so much for joining me on the show. It's really nice to see you guys all get along with different varying opinions. Some of you guys, like, you know, have different opinions on the game, but to see you guys all like being respectful and civil in the chat is super, super awesome. That's why I love this community here. And I don't want you guys to ever feel like you have to like squelch your voice. You know, like I always want your guys' voice out there. I always want to hear what it is that you guys have to say in regards to this project. It's something that I've been following for about 4 years. And I tell you what, I've been having a great time, and it's because of you guys. Just like joining this community, talking with different types of people, talking with all different types of personalities. And I absolutely love you guys. And thank you guys for the support tonight. I want to thank Karma for subscribing, Hey for following, Original Gamer for the follow, and for that 500 biddies, buddy. Thank you so much. I also want to thank Shadow Hunter for the follow, and Damon for his like 7,000th subscription tonight, and Dark Karma also for the subscription. So thanks, everybody. That support helps me keep going. That keeps the show going. And I really, really respect you guys. I really love you guys. Thanks so much, fam. And, you know, when the video hits on YouTube, go there. It's going to be probably tomorrow early in the morning because it's late tonight. We had a nice late show. But thank you, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Inside Star Citizen Review. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. Don't forget, for our patrons, we're having an Aegis Avenger giveaway on our Patreon channel. So that's about a $60 value. We locked down the first goal. Giveaways every month. I love you guys. We're rolling. Momentum is real. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys on the next vid or